Hi, I'm Pete Waters. I'm the Newsroom Technology Manager at the Arizona Republic and ArizonaCentral.com. I'm going to show you a little bit about what CCI is in terms of how it's used to put out the newspaper. It is the primary tool we use for everything from story creation as a writer, a repository for our photos and our art and our advertising, and a system for our designers to actually put all these elements together into a page and for final output to our presses.
Hi, I'm Steve Lisanti. I'm the Ad Layout Manager of the Arizona Republic. I'm in charge of the pagination of the newspaper as far as the advertising. We place all the ads for our advertising department, and we place those into the CCI pagination system for the newsroom. This is called CCI Plan Edit. Once our page plan has been completed on ALS, we could open up that page plan in CCI Plan Edit by picking a particular product we've been working on, and we can open it thusly on Plan Edit, and this is what the page plan on Plan Edit would look like. We could actually visualize this, and you could see actually ad bookings. And the actual pages, the blank parts of these pages are where the news would go, and the gray parts are the ads. Once we're satisfied that this looks good, we can create this, and once it's created, then the page designers in the newsroom can open up a particular page, and they'll be able to see the ads, and they could see the blank parts that we left for them so they could place the editorial content. This is how a designer would open up a page. They would call up the product they're working on, the date, and the edition. They would see the page that we created on Plan Edit. They would edit that page. They could see an ad, and they could see the blank part of the page where they're going to fill in with news.
When you open up a story, it looks very familiar to traditional Microsoft Office Word. There are some differences though. CCI appropriates a lot of Word's functionality. You have to have Microsoft Office to use CCI, but it adds a lot of elements to Office that you wouldn't find in a standard Office, for lack of a better word. One of the things that you can do is we have different tags. This is the text of the story. This is the abstract. We can add tags. Say I want to add a headline, and I can write a headline. Now, a reporter wouldn't do that, but gives you a sense of what CCI is able to do. Here's a little bit of a story. This is the first paragraph of my story. I want to add my byline. I just type it in, highlight it, and go up to, go up to the common tags and say, make that a by staff, which is a proprietary type tag that we use here at the Republic. Now, this may look just like regular Word with certain elements that you'd expect to see, but one of the things that CCI does is it allows the reporter to see exactly what it's going to look like on the printed page by using another application called ProofView. Since this isn't on a page and there is no real width to anything, the headline isn't fitting correctly. But as you can see, this is the typography, and this is what you'd expect to see in the paper. Another tool for the reporter that's strictly to CCI is the ability to hyphenate and justify, and to get an accurate count on the number of lines in a story. So we can see the headline is breaking, we saw that, but I know that my story is going to be 1.77 inches on a Republic printed page. When the story is done, the reporter will send it to the next basket, which would be to source editing, where a city editor would read the story. It would end up in this basket here, source editor, and essentially an editor would do the same thing, would open the story up, make whatever changes he wanted to make, and save it. Besides stories, we also have photos that come into CCI pretty much non-stop. As photographers and artists finish their work, they submit it to CCI so that designers and other editors can look at their work and decide what should go on the paper. We do the same thing with our graphics, which is a lot of things. It's the masthead here, probably a special masthead for an upcoming edition. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, this is left over from the inauguration edition. You can see we did something slightly different in a graphics program and submitted it to CCI. Okay. What CCI is most important for is the ability to create pages. What we have here is a template page. It exists in CCI as a blank page waiting for content from reporters, photographers, and editors. What I'll do as a designer is I will create an object, a dummy article, and I will bring in elements from CCI's libraries to... Now, a designer will also go and find the actual story that they're interested in adding. Okay. After a designer has designed an article, here it is, it's just a blank raw text file, and we want a 3-line headline. They will go get the story, in this case the story that I was writing as a reporter, and assign it to that page. Here it is, you can see, this is the head, and this is the story. Here in a finished page, you can see the same kind of layout was being done, but all the elements have been put on the page, including a large graphic with photos from CCI, another photo from CCI down here, the original elements from the template page, this masthead, the Arizona Republic. But each of these articles were created by a designer and the elements brought into CCI from the outside. Now we'll show you what happens after it's done.
Hi, I'm Michael Wallace, and I'm going to go over the procedure that we use to typeset and release the pages over to Deer Valley. And to do that, we open the page. When the page comes up, we check to make sure all the ads are in the proper place on the page. If everything looks good, on our end here, if it's a mixed ad, that means it's mixed between ads and editorial. If all the ads look good, we would release it by going to File, and then Lock Release, and release the ad stack. When that happens, it then goes into the ad stack column to show that this column is released. And then the editorial room or the newsroom would then see that we are released. So when they get their editorial in the same page and they're done, then they can go in and typeset it. This shows us in here that it's a mixed ad that shows it's mixed and it has editorial and ads in it. Or we have one that's ads only. If it's ads only, it's just going to be a full page ad. And then when that comes up, we know this is just a full page ad. We don't even have to release it. We can, once it's ready, we can do the typeset over to Deer Valley.